Alright guys, Gemini, back with another video, and I'm just going to get this out, so I just ask that you just hear me out for 5 minutes. That's all. It's only 5 minutes, and I'll be done. I just want to finish up this whole thing on Goldberg and Lesnar from last night, and why I was a bit disappointed in the way the whole thing went down. Now look, in the beginning, well, I don't know about the beginning, but like, I don't know, like a month, 2 months ago when this whole thing between Lesnar and Goldberg started happening, I really wasn't paying attention to Raw. I really didn't care that much. But because of this thing with Goldberg and Lesnar, I started getting interested in Raw again, and I started watching Raw again, and I wanted to see what was going to happen. I started putting it back on the DVR after like 2 months of not caring. So I was into it. You know, it's like I knew that Goldberg and Lesnar were having their confrontation last week, so I was like, okay, I need to see that. I need to put that on the DVR. That's cool. Because I used to be a really big Goldberg fan in WCW, and I'm a huge Brock Lesnar fan. So I was like really excited. And then like probably if they didn't have that match, for me, Survivor Series would have been like whatever. I wouldn't have really cared that much. But I wanted to see that match. I felt like that match was history, and I needed to be a part of it. Now, the whole weekend I had thought about that match, and I was a bit nervous. I was actually nervous for Goldberg. I was concerned that Goldberg was going to get hurt. I felt that Lesnar was in better shape, and I thought that he was going to get hurt. I had heard somewhere or seen somewhere that Goldberg had a bad shoulder and whatnot, so I was like, oh shit, you know, Brock Lesnar's probably going to suplex him like a million times. He might hurt Goldberg. So I was nervous for Goldberg. I was nervous that something was going to happen to him in the match. So then they come out. Goldberg hits one spear. Goldberg hits two spears and a jackhammer, and he squashes Brock Lesnar in like, it was 1minute and 28 seconds. And I'm just looking at this. I'm like, what? That's Brock Lesnar there. Since when is Brock Lesnar the job guy? Since when does Brock Lesnar do the job for other people? I mean, since when does Brock Lesnar not do any offense in the match? I was in disbelief that that's how they played it off. I couldn't believe it. I mean, to me, I think the match would have been so much better, so much more fun, if at least Lesnar got to do some suplexes and get the crowd into it. I understand, you know, I've been talking to my buddy The Wiz and stuff. I understand that they want to do Goldberg at the Royal Rumble, and they want to make him look really strong and stuff, and they want to do a rematch and whatnot. But man, I mean, don't you think this would have been more effective if Goldberg did his comeback match at the Survivor Series? Don't you think it would have been more believable if, let's say, he's going to wrestle a Luke Harper? Okay, squash him. You know, Bray Wyatt, you know, squash him. You know, he's making his triumphant return versus Randy Orton, squash him. But the one guy that it doesn't make sense to have job to him is Brock Lesnar, who is a killer. He's an animal. He's a destroyer. You know, I mean, Brock Lesnar was the guy who broke the Undertaker's streak. I mean, Brock Lesnar was the guy who destroyed Cena at SummerSlam, and the guy who knocked Randy Orton bloody at SummerSlam this year. I mean, it was weird. It was weird to see Lesnar job and look weak and just put Goldberg over like that. I'm baffled by it, and I'm baffled how WWE is going to play it off like now. Like, and the thing is, like, people are saying, like, okay, Lesnar got his ass kicked, and people really believe that Goldberg did that. I'm like, dude, are you serious? I mean, Lesnar got paid and did what he was told and did the job. It wasn't, I mean, Jesus Christ, in a real fight, as tough as Goldberg is, I don't think he can stand up to Brock. I don't think anyone can stand up to Brock. I mean, Brock Lesnar, the job guy. I mean, there's so many different guys you could have put out there to put Goldberg over. I and then the announcers tried to save it, right? And the announcer tried to save it and make it this big deal. And I was like, it made wrestling look so fake to me, because that was Brock Lesnar. You know, that was probably the toughest son of a bitch in the world. And now they have him being a job guy for Goldberg. And I had no problem with Goldberg winning or losing the match. I was kind of like, whatever, you know, but there's so many different ways he could have done it. I mean, he could have gone at least 5 minutes. At least Lesnar could have done some offense in the match. I felt jaded by the finish. I did. I honestly, I felt ripped off by the finish. I was like, that's it? I mean, yeah, I like Goldberg, but Goldberg, oh my God, has had longer matches versus a lot lesser opponents than Brock Lesnar. I mean, Brock Lesnar is a killer, a demon, and just to have him job out like that, it didn't make sense to me. Like I said, if it was a Luke Harper, Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, you know, one of those kind of guys, I get having Goldberg go over and squash him in 5 minutes or a minute 28 seconds. But out of all the guys, Brock Lesnar, it didn't register with me. Like, Brock Lesnar just did a job at a minute 28. I'm like, I mean, this is like King Kong Bundy Special Delivery Jones stuff at WrestleMania 2. I mean, what? Special Delivery Jones lost in 9 seconds. What was the other one? WrestleMania 10. Some Bam Bam beat Adam Bomb or something, like Earthquake beat Adam Bomb or something, like 10 seconds. I mean, I'm lost. I'm lost on how you build Lesnar up to be this killer in wrestling. And you have him go down like that. I mean, this is the guy who's just destroyed John Cena, and we all loved it. This is the guy who beat The Undertaker's streak. The one guy out of everybody in the world who beat The Undertaker's streak, and you just have him play a job guy. This is the guy who killed Dean Ambrose this year at WrestleMania. It's the guy who bloodied Randy Orton at SummerSlam. Like, Brock Lesnar's a job guy now. Goldberg, who hasn't been there in 12 years, at least make the match somewhat competitive. You know, don't end it like that. At least have Lesnar do some suplexes or something. I mean, I know that they were trying to do the WCW style. But, I mean, come on. I mean, it's a different time. I mean, that's Brock Lesnar. That's the meanest man in the world, and you have him job out in minute 28. I just disagree with the finish, because Brock Lesnar's not a job guy. He's the best in the world, and I disagree. Anyways, thank you for listening. I'm Gemini.